morning, everyone. How you doing today?
So for the subwoofer in this, we're going with the R series subwoofer, this guy right here.
It is the RW12D4.
This is the new modeled R-type subwoofer. We're going with the cool grill. R-types have their own grill. I would show you the model number, but it's sitting underneath
Right
here.
Right here.
Oh yeah, here we go.
KTE12G.2.
Now the box, what we did is we had Bright Star Car Audio make us a wedge-shaped box for this. It's not a prefab. We actually had them made this the spec for the woofer. This customer wanted a seal box. He wants a nice tight hitting bass. He does not into boom, so that's why we got him a seal box. Now we're gonna go ahead and get this put together, get it put in the car. So one of the cool things about the Alpine grill is that it covers the whole woofer, so it's like a smaller speaker grill, so you don't have to worry about anything denting the woofer getting into one of those cool funky cosmetic grills. They also give you these guys here. These are the clips that actually hold the grill in place, and then it comes with a new trim ring. Got these cool little squares that are designed to line up with these, and you just kind of tap it in place. And by tap it, I mean beat the crap out of it so that it goes into place. And of course, it also comes with this cool logo. All right, so that puts us to one thing left to do other than tune it. That is the bass knob. We have to figure out some place to put this thing. And it's harder than you would think. I mean, a lot of times you can just put it up underneath the dash, which is great. Keep it out of the way where, you know, because you're not gonna be using it all the time. It's not like you drive around riding the bass knob. And cars now with these new shin busters, that's getting harder and harder. So now we have to find some other place to put it. I just don't like screwing it to panels where, you know, the nice thing about putting it underneath the dash is that if you're screwing it in, like most of the time you are, when you pull those screws out, if you get rid of the car, you don't actually see the screw holes because they're firing down, you know, because you can kind of hide them. Anyways, let's get into the car and try to figure this out. So the fuse holder is in place and ready to go. Made a bracket that mounted to the side piece of plastic here. There's a hole in the firewall, which I'll show in a second. Brought the wire up underneath this here, underneath it, and around and in, and then connected it to the battery. Underneath here, there was a hole, factory hole already right here. We've gone ahead and glued up. This obviously doesn't have a stick, so if you needed to, you could also drilled through right there. There's the factory boot. This is all just rubber, so it easily went through there. All right, so the place we've come up for the bass knob is this panel right here. This is where the fuse box is located right here, and right next to it, well, let me show you. So this is the big underdash panel right here, fuse box, light control switch, hole. So what we had to do is sand the back of the panel here to get all these little ribbies off. Naturally, Rockford doesn't make the neck for this all that long, even though they make it so that you can back mount it. We like to add shrink wrap to it just to keep it all nice and tight. We found that these tend to get loose over time when you take them out of their big housings. A little shrink wrap hardens them up, seems to solve the problem. It's fire, dude. So Fernando will go ahead and finish getting that mounted. That's the last piece of the puzzle. Went ahead and threw the subwoofer in the trunk. So it'll sit right here in the corner. It's got the tapered back, so it sits up next to the seat really nice. We got all those boxes all set and ready to go. Speakers, old ones, gets those back. The excitement is too much. We really can't wait to hear how this sounds. We did turn it on to make sure everything worked, just because we don't like surprises. Naturally, waiting for this last piece of the puzzle. This is great for your lower back. Oh yeah. There we go, all put back together. Ooh, so smooth. Now, I know we spent a lot of time talking about the bass knob, but sometimes, like in this car, that's really the only thing he's gonna have access to, because, you know, you're not gonna see the amp, the sub is in the trunk. Sometimes that bass knob is really important. Okay, stereo's in, finally. Now what we need to do is do all our testing. So the first thing we're gonna do is go in and test balance and fader and make sure we got that all correct. All right, that's 2. There's 1. All right, and that's 3. So as trivial as testing balance and fader may sound to some of you, it's very important. 'Cause sometimes it's overlooked. Sometimes these amplifiers aren't marked clearly, like one, you know, front, rear, and stuff like that. And nothing sucks worse than trying to tune a car and like, you're like, wait a minute, it just doesn't sound right. Especially if you're doing time correction and you have balance and fader wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? All right, so test that. Now we're gonna do polarity testing. Let's get ready from tick, tick, tick. What do you got?
I got greens on both sides.
All right, let's check the rear. Wouldn't you know it, one is out of polarity. And see, there you go. That's why we do these tests, because that speaker number 4 is out of polarity. Now that's easy enough to do. There's several places where contact was made. My guess though, it was probably my fault, where we pushed those 2, the gray into our purples. So we'll just pop this panel back real quick and switch them. So even though we work on hundreds of cars, we get it wrong too sometimes. That's why we do this check, and I can't stress enough why you need to do it. So now what we want to do is do all our testing on the amplifier. This amplifier, the T-Series, they have basically a DD1 built into it. So the first thing we want to test is the input clip, which is over here. We're going to play 40 hertz 0 dB on the radio. Make sure your bass, treble, mid, and all that is turned all the way down. Go ahead and turn it up.
Okay, right now we are all the way up.
We're all the way up. All right, go to 1,000 hertz.
100,000.
So now we're playing 1,000 hertz 0 dB, volume's all the way up. We're still not getting a clip light, which is good. We didn't think we would. This has a nice good signal output. We're gonna go ahead and start turning up the gains. See, there's a nice red light right there. We're gonna turn it down. Blue is what we want. We'll come up here, got a blue light there. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start at 0 dB on these. I know a lot of times we like to go up to 5. We probably will. We're gonna do 5 on the sub though, so we're gonna do -5 on the subwoofer. Go ahead and put it on 1,000 hertz -5. I just wanna figure out where this is at. We know where 0 is, and we know where -5 is for the highs. This way, if we need to, we can turn it down, but it's already up as loud as we're probably gonna wanna play it. We have the sub set up. We put a little bit of bass EQ in there. Make sure you turn up the bass EQ to where you want it as you're setting this. It's gonna distort faster, so make sure you turn that down. All right, so we have this guy set up. We're gonna go ahead and turn this off. Now, when you're doing this, 2 things you need to do. 1, unplug all the speakers, and 2, unplug the bass knob. We're gonna plug all this back in, hop into the front seat, and take a listen. All right, so now we're back in the car, and it is time to test the crossover. We're gonna use our ears for this, okay? And we're gonna isolate. Playing the fronts first, then we'll go to the rears, then we'll add in the sub. Right, Fernando?
Correct.
All right, hit play. We have them at 80 hertz, where that is the test, you know, that when we set them up on the bench around 80 hertz, because I mean, it's not like it's digital. The fronts are playing, it actually sounds really good. However, I am gonna turn it up just a hair more because I feel it needs it. It's right on that edge, and I wanna go up a little higher, because I feel like the volume is more important here than the ability to play super low bass. Go ahead and press play again. All right, much better, much better. It just needed a little tweak, not much. I mean, not like we went up to 200 or anything. We literally just It's really hard when you're just trying to do it a little bit. So what I recommend is going, let's see, we're at 80, go up to 200, go up a substantial amount, and then start slowly coming back down until you hear the right amount of bass. And there again, you don't have to look at the numbers. It's not the numbers, it's the ears, and listening to the speaker and listening for the wrong sounds. And you'll know them. You'll know when it makes the wrong sounds. Now we're gonna go to the rear, and we're gonna start over, do the same thing. Now with the rears, because they are 6x9s, we're probably gonna get a lot more mid bass out of them. Go ahead and press play. There again, a little hot. We're gonna just a touch. Boom.
Whoa!
Go ahead and put it back in the center for me.
Oh, is it one at a time?
Yes.
That's so slow. All right.
All right, press play. All right, so We have the crossovers on the interior where we want. I just want to do a little level, make sure that the rears, he wants rear fill, okay? It's crazy, some of you guys out there are gonna be, what? No, look, actually some people like rear fill. It's okay. It's okay, okay? Now, if you do like rear fill, this is where the term timber matching comes into play. Timber matching is where you buy speakers that all use the same style drivers, meaning they have the same tweeters, they have very similar mid-range. Performance is gonna be similar all across the board. In this case, they're all R series speakers, which means they all have the nice R series tweeter. So they all are gonna have very similar high end. It just blends better. That way you don't have something that's like this oddball tweeter that's distracting. We're gonna go ahead now and add in the subwoofer. All right, so we have the volumes, the crossovers dialed in the way for this type of music. We're gonna play more music now because this isn't really what he listens to. We just want to set it for extreme and then we can fine tune from here.
Sounds amazing.
There's no rattle at all on the
Nada?
Nada.
Nada.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Nada.
Nada.
And he drops. Now, I will say this about Alpine R series speakers, and this has been the R series all the way back. If you're an undecisive person, meaning you can't make up your mind about anything, buy some R types, okay? Because they're good for everything. I mean, it doesn't matter if you listen to all the way on the left or all the way on the right, they'll make you happy. It's like the ultimate whiteboard experience speaker where you can just, it's gray. Everything's gray, you know, and I mean the color gray. That's a photography reference for those of you guys out there, you'll know what I mean. It's totally neutral. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're listening to, the R type will do it. And that's what's great about the speaker. I mean, I've been using them for years and years, actually since they came out, and they've only gotten better over the years. Yeah, it's just one of those anomalies. It's like, I don't know what I want. You want an R type.
Okay.
Her voice sounds so familiar. What does she sing that I'm...
Come on, turn the radio on.
So it's one of those moments where you're listening to the customer songs and you're like, I know this voice. So, you know, you gotta go look it up on iTunes while you're sitting in the car and figure it out. And then you're like,
oh, that's it.
Ah! Because
Yeah,
you're not hearing the song that she always sings.
Right, we used to hang out together.
On the weekends.
Yeah.
Back with Jenny on the block.
Yeah,
Yeah, totally. All right, guys, I tell you what, we're gonna call this one finished. For those of you out there that are curious, this one took us a full day. We actually had the car for 2 days, but we had something to do in the morning. Quick service for Sujeki. If you guys don't know who he is, go check out Car Audio Talk with Dean and Fernando. Anyways, he was one of the guests, Bill's boss. Everybody knows Bill's boss, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, so we would have had this for the whole day. It stayed the night. We came in the morning. We took care of the last two things, which were the bass knob and the subwoofer. Got those all put in, and of course the tune, all important tune. Sometimes after working all day, it's nice to come in the morning and actually do the tune in the morning. That way you're not tired, you're not fatigued. We seem to have better results that way. It's much more enjoyable too.
Oh yeah, totally.
The downside too is that means whatever we're doing for the rest of the day will not compare to the fun we just got done doing.
That's why I'm
Sometimes,
enjoying this.
sometimes yes, most of the time no, which is okay. Anything you can think of?
No, I mean, it sounds really good.
Sounds really good. Something to keep in mind, you guys out there, a lot of these radios, whether they're factory or aftermarket, have what's called source tone adjust, meaning if you're listening to CD, it's one. If you're listening to a phone, it's another. If you listen to aux, it's another EQ setting. Pioneer doesn't, but Kenwood does. They offer source tone adjust, and then they give you the ability, like if you just have one amazing for all, just one ring to rule them all, you can hit a button and it'll do that. This Chevy is source tone adjust. Each media is different. So when we're setting it up, we actually have to go through and make sure we set each one up accordingly. The customer probably knows this. He's had the car for a couple years, but it's just nice, you know, if you're the guy putting it in, that don't just set one and, hey, see you bought it. Check. Anything else? All right, I rambled on long enough. Let's get out of here. We're gonna stay and listen to this some more, but we're gonna end this for you guys so you can get on with your day.
Yep, on to the next one. The big piece is gonna be all the way to the back. But I believe it's gonna hit, so we're gonna cut it just little bit.